Good morning, children. Welcome to Social Studies tutorial. I hope you all are doing well during this COVID-19 pandemic. So, students, today we are going to learn Civics Chapter 4, Gender, Religion and Caste. These terms are very common to everyone because in day-to-day life, these three terms play a very important role. But in this chapter, we are going to learn these terms in a different context because we have to learn that how gender, religion and caste play an important role in politics and how politics affects gender, religion and caste. So, what exactly in this chapter, students, we are going to learn about gender and politics, that will be learning feminism and issues related to the gender discrimination that you have already just learned in your last grades, and how we can resolve these problems. Then we are going to learn about religion, communalism and politics, that what exactly the religion is and how religion just leads to the communalism and how it affects to the politics, and to what extent it creates the problem in a free and fair elections or so on. Then how these problems can be resolved. So I hope in your last grades you have learned about the Constitution of India, where a proper solution of this problem is given to you, that is known as secularism. What the secularism is, that officially no religion is being declared as the nation's religion. So just like all the religions are equal, all the citizens are equal, so that is your secularism. Then caste and politics. So students, this topic gets quite confused to the students because most of the time, as in this topic we have to learn caste and politics, that what role is played by caste in the politics, whereas on the other hand we have to learn politics in caste, that how politics plays an important role in caste. So just by learning these contexts in this chapter, then we are learning this with the help of these real life examples, so that it will make us easy to understand. Yes. So students, now let's learn the first pillar of this chapter, because there are three pillars of this chapter. These are gender, religion and caste, and what role they play in politics. So the first is your gender and politics. So students, first, what exactly in this content we are going to learn about the problem of considering gender division as natural and unchangeable. What exactly gender division as natural and unchangeable, because that is a kind of mental set which has been just set in the people's mind, because whenever we talk about gender division or the gender division as natural, because there are some tasks where, like whenever we talk about these tasks, then automatically it comes to our mind that these are tasks to be done either by the women or the men. So what kind of, like suppose if I give you an example of a nurse, so whenever I talk about a nurse, then suddenly you stuck with the idea that the nurse, the job of a nurse is to be done by a woman. On the other hand, suppose if I just give you an example of farmer, so once I say farmer, then again you are stuck with the idea that yes, definitely this is the job of a man. So what exactly? This is a kind of unchangeable or natural, because somehow we have made our mindset that these are the, like the gender is a social division, or the gender division is a social division which is very natural or unchangeable, which can't be changed. But initially, in reality, if you just visit the farms or the rural areas, then you may come to know that there are so many ladies, there are so many women who are working in their farms. So what exactly? Now let's understand the basic concept of sex versus gender. Because suppose if I say sex and gender, So what? Sex, that is male or female. Or suppose if I talk about gender, then again if it is male and female. So no, it is not actually. This is. Let's understand what exactly the sex and gender is all about. So both these terms are quite differently used to each other. Once I talk about sex, so what the sex is, that is a biological difference, because there are the different characteristics of a man. So he is considered as a man. On the other hand, there is a female, so she has a different characteristics. Whereas if I talk about gender, as I told you that gender is a social division that is divided by the society itself, not a biological. So what the gender is, because like whenever we talk about that gender division, so somehow it leads to the sexual division of labor, because what exactly, there is a public or private division that is for the sexual division of labor on the basis of gender, because somehow it is done by the society members, not by like biologically. So what exactly the sexual division of labor, as I told you, there is a public or private division. What exactly the public and private division? Because the work or the task which is to be performed outside of this, that is to be done by the male members. So public representation of males. Whereas if I talk about the private division, so all the household work or the inside the home, that is work done by the females. So that is the concept of public and private division, that the work which is to be performed outside of the home, that is done by male members of this family. On the other hand, if we talk about private division, so these are the private or the personal households which are to be performed inside the home. These are done by females. So this is a kind of sexual division of labor. So sexual division of labor is a society's belief. But why? Because what we think, whenever, like suppose if I ask you just to pack your lunch, or you just get your lunch ready, so what exactly an idea comes to our mind that our mother or any one of the female members at our home supposed to get my lunch ready. So what exactly, that is a mindset which we have already created. So that is a kind of society's belief. And second one is, what happens that women's work is not valued, because like suppose if I talk about that whenever our mother or any other female members of our family cooks food then we never pay. So women's work is not valued. On the other hand, whenever maybe these same tasks are to be performed by men, but only in one conditions, that is once they are paid. So men do perform works done by women if paid. Because suppose, as I told you, as I have given you one example, that you get your lunch ready. So what exactly, you get an idea that just after reaching at my home, or I'll ask my mother, she'll prepare my lunch. But whenever we visit a restaurant or a hotel or so on, then what you come to know, that there are the male members. Ladies are not working there. There are male members are working there. But why they are working? Because they are getting remuneration or reward against their efforts. So men perform the similar works once they are paid, because their efforts are valued. So just because of the sexual division of labor, it leads to the reduction of the role in public life. It reduces the role of female members in their public life, because just because of this, there was so many gender issues which were raised in the politics. And when these gender issues were raised in the politics, then then female members of our society just demanded for the equality or equal rights, that just because of this, they are just working. Just because of these feminist movement, they are working outside. They've started working outside. Now the female members are just becoming doctor, lawyer, manager. Even now these days they are stepping in civil services also. So just like when these gender issues were raised in politics, they demanded for the equality, which led to the feminist movement. So with the help of these feminist movements, these ladies just got the equality in society, because of which that they got the opportunities for their education. Even they are performing or they are working both in private as well as public sectors. So students, this was the gender and politics, like part 1. In the next video we'll learn more about the same content. I hope you enjoyed the video. Till the time, stay home, stay safe. Thank you.